Hello everyone. Today I will be showing you my African dwarf frogs. I made a previous video on this, but I accidentally deleted it, so I'm here to make a new one. Let's see. First off, how to tell the difference between an African dwarf frog and a dwarf clawed frog. An African dwarf frog, it has little webbed feet in the front, and a clawed frog, it has claws and no webs in the front. African dwarfs are complete aquatic frogs. They live completely in water. They do go and swim up to the top just to get air every once in a while. They are part of the Pipidae family, and they are social creatures. That means you must have at least 2 of them in this tank. You cannot have one frog and some fish. It'll get lonely and it most likely will die. You must have at least 2 frogs. Okay. First, I'm going to teach you about the housing of them. They grow to be about 2 inches. And they need at least a 2.5 gallon tank. I keep mine in a 10-gallon. They need a lot of room to move. I would suggest no less than a 5-gallon. They are nocturnal creatures, which means they usually sleep during the day. So they need at least 1 hide in the area. I keep at least 1 hide. I would suggest you use something like gravel, or you can even use a clear bottom with maybe some big rocks. But I would not use sand. When they eat, their food does fall between the gravel, but they can still find it a little bit. If you use sand, they could get impaction and it'll end up killing them. Okay, next I'm going to teach you about the temperature. It needs to be around 78 degrees. The frogs are used to a warmer climate. They are from Africa, and to reach this temperature you should use a heater like this. You cannot use a heat mat or even a heat lamp to warm the water up. First of all, it's not safe and it won't work as well. You also need to do some water changes, about half the water every, I'd say, at least 2 weeks at the latest. And make sure that the water does not cause a big disturbance. You can place an old filter on top of the water to slow it from dropping. You see how I did? It's an old filter. I put it over like that and it slows down the water so it doesn't cause as much of a disturbance inside the water. And do not use tap water. It has chlorine in it and it can kill the frogs. It is okay to use well water, but I would have it tested just to be on the safe side. Okay, let's move on to the feeding. The frogs are carnivorous, so they eat things like bloodworms, brine shrimp, some krill, and pellets. And you can also feed them earthworms, but make sure they're the small ones, they're the red ones. Here, I will show you the stuff I feed them myself. Okay, let's get started. I feed my frogs worms. They're the little red ones. See? They enjoy them. I slice them up in about 4 or 5 pieces. They usually eat them, and whatever they don't eat, my goldfish will eat. I usually wouldn't use goldfish in a tank with the African dwarf frogs, but mine, they don't really mind each other. I would suggest, however, you use something like a guppy or some of the smaller type fish. They work a lot better. I do have an algae eater back there as well, which he doesn't do anything but what you see now. So he helps clean the water though. And I also feed them this aquatic frog and tadpole food, which I make a little spot right here with just some clear glass on the rocks, and then I pinch a little bit of pellets down, and they usually eat it right there, so that way it don't all get stuck in between the rocks, because most, if not all, African dwarf frogs are pretty blind. You will find the worm in a couple minutes. African dwarf frogs are actually blind, or the closest you can get to being blind. My goldfish took a worm. There you go. See, they eat it pretty well. My slices might be a little bit too big for them this time, but I've seen them eat one about that size, so it shouldn't be no problem at all. Well, That's enough for this for today. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and give a like. Thank you.